You are a bounty hunter.
Yes.
I will help you. I have spoken.
What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to Treebeard's Toy Box. And today, we're going to be taking a look at this brand new Star Wars The Vintage Collection Kuiil action figure from Hasbro. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to my good buddy Joe for finding this in the wild for me. So thanks, man. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started here. And as you see, we get our standard Vintage Collection Kenner style card back here. And a good look at our figure here in the window, in the little bubble here. And he looks fantastic. I'm not positive, but it does look like he has the same new hip style that Bo-Katan had. So, stoked to check that out. These Vintage Collection figures keep getting better and better. So, but yeah, digging the blue they used there. It's kind of a turquoisey kind of blue. And I love this image here. Let's go ahead and check out the back here. So Kuiil is VC227, and we do see on the back here there is some images of some of the other figures. I have picked up most of them. I still need to pick up Lobot, the Rebel Soldier, and Lando, and I'll pick those guys up eventually, but I'm not rushing those. I'm trying to get all the Mandalorian figures because hopefully within the next month I'll be getting my Razor Crest from Hasbro, so very excited about that. And I'm going to have that kind of be my Mandalorian display. So here we have one final look at the front of the packaging. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and open this guy up and check him out. So here we have Kuiil out of the packaging. And before we go any further, I would just like to kindly remind you all that if you do like what you see, please be sure to hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And now on to Kuiil. So this figure is actually pretty fantastic. And he is definitely using the new hip system that they used with Bo-Katan. So I am really excited about that. We've got a lot of detail going on for this tiny little guy, and I am really happy about it. I think he looks fantastic. His eyes turned out great. The face, like all the sculpt and the print. These, you know, like I said earlier, these Vintage Collection figures, they just keep getting better and better. You know, at least the brand new ones. They do a lot of re-releases as well. But this guy is all new. And he looks amazing. You know, it's just astonishing all the little detail we can get with such a small figure. And this is a separate piece here. And I would imagine if you took his head off, you could pull that off. But yeah, he looks great. Let's go ahead and set him aside and check out the couple accessories that he comes with. So first up, we get this really nicely done backpack here. And again, for the size, the amount of detail, like the sculpt work there to make it look like real leather, just very impressive. And we even get a little bit of silver detail down here, even with it being so small. Very impressive. Here's the other side, so it's kind of hollow. Not a big deal. Just got a little peg there to go into the port. Yeah, very well done. Next up, we get this nice rifle here. And we get this with the Black Series figure as well. And you look and you can see we get some gunmetal gray there. And again, for the size, the amount of detail we get here is very impressive. This nice strap. Well done again. But we do just get those two accessories. So now let's go ahead and move right along to articulation. So for articulation on this little guy, we do get a little ball at the top of the neck. And we get a decent amount of range there. Then we get a hinge and a swivel for the shoulders there. No butterfly joints, but I don't think they've started doing that yet on the vintage collection figures, but that's okay. And then we get a hinge. And I think that will rotate a little as well for the elbow. And then we get a hinge that is up and down and a swivel for the wrist. And that is up and down on both wrists. And then we get this waist swivel here. Pretty decent amount of range there. And these awesome new hips. Thank you, Hasbro, very much. I am loving these new hips. Can't say enough good things about them. And then we get the thigh cut here. We get a single jointed knee. And let's see what that rotates a little, yes. And we get a rocker and a hinge for the ankles. Loving this new articulation style for the vintage collection. This is the same exact style they used for Bo-Katan. And I think these two figures are easily becoming my two new favorite vintage collection figures because of the new style of articulation. It goes such a long way, so thank you very much, Hasbro. I am loving it. For size comparison, here he is next to the beautiful Bo-Katan from this same wave. And I love both of these figures. I think that Hasbro has completely outdone themselves. And I hope to see everything that has been implemented with these figures with all of the new figures they have announced, like the new Boba Fett and the Ahsoka. I'm really excited for some of these new figures if we're going to see more of this. So. Here he is next to an off-world Jawa. And finally, here he is next to Grogu and Din Djarin. So overall, I think that Hasbro did such a fantastic job with this new Kuiil figure. I am very impressed with this figure and Bo-Katan. And like I said, I really hope to see a lot more of what we see with those two figures going forward. Yeah, it's just making me like the vintage collection more and more. And I am stoked to add this guy to my Mando collection, especially with the Razor Crest coming. So I am going to give this guy a 10 out of 10. I love everything about him. If you are curious, I am showing him here with the Mission Fleet Blurred, which isn't quite in scale, but I've had the regular vintage collection Mando on him for a while. Totally fine. And I think Kuiil looks even better, so if you were curious, you should be able to find this pretty easily, and it's at least a good temporary fix until they possibly give us an actual vintage collection blurg someday. So, but yeah, I think that's going to do it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that like button, and if you are not subscribed already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell on the way out so you know when I got new videos coming. And until next time, this is the way.